Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is June 22nd. Right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery as of yesterday morning. And you can see the thunderstorm activity there across some of Alberta and Montana. No thunderstorm threat here today or tomorrow across a lot of the Pacific Northwest. Maybe across some of the higher terrain of British Columbia here. But I want to scroll through yesterday and point out that thunderstorm activity moving off to the east there. And you can see the system out over the Pacific Ocean there. And then we went to the overnight hours and we emerged this morning. And you can see why we're going to be a bit chillier here today across some of the Pacific Northwest. Pretty warm days here across a lot of western Washington, western Oregon, but still some nice sunshine there across western Oregon as we speak. But you can see the system moving in here and it's off the coastline there as well. And then we go towards where we are now. And again, you can see kind of the mid and high level clouds are starting to arrive even for some eastern portions here today. If we take a look here, I was out dust devil chasing here across eastern Washington yesterday. I want to show something here. You can see the cumulus clouds build up. Some of the dust devils were interacting with these cumulus clouds. Those are the mark of thermals. So that's where rising air was. And some of the dust devils that went underneath some of these thermals were pretty vigorous there. It was pretty interesting here. And the shadow made them quite interesting looking there. They looked kind of black. And it was very fun out there yesterday. Probably the best dust devil chasing day I've had out there so far. And that video is still yet to come. That'll be in production here over the next couple of days. Taking a look at thunderstorm outlook today, you can see that activity is pushing off to the east here. So we're not going to have to worry about that. But we do have thunderstorm potential returning here as we go towards the mid portion of the week coming up. We're going to look at some of that. A little bit of detail here in a moment. This is day 2 here as well, pushing off to the east. Not much of a worry unless you're Butte, Montana, eastbound. So we have some interesting conditions coming up here for tomorrow, Sunday. Low relative humidities with some very gusty winds, very high fire danger out there. Potential for rapid fire spread with any new ignitions. Use extreme caution. It does include Yakima, Sunnyside, Tri-Cities, Ritzville, Spokane, and almost all the way up to Omak there as well, and down towards Pullman also. And this is Pendleton calling attention to some gusts for 50 miles per hour. It does include the I-5 corridor. You can see out towards the Columbia River here and back up in towards the Kittitas Valley there. So this could really rapidly spread fires. There were already fires burning, or at least a couple of them that I saw just on the drive back yesterday. They were small, but with the wind coming in tomorrow, this could rapidly spread, especially with any new ignitions. Take a look at Seattle yesterday, 86 degrees. That's 14 degrees above the average high for this time of year. 89 was the all-time record high, so we didn't quite get there, but still a very warm day. And on the 20th was 84 degrees as well, about 4 degrees off the record high. There are very warm conditions here for western Washington. This is for Hoquiam. Check it out. It was only 60 on the coast yesterday for some areas. 4 degrees actually below average, and of course nowhere near the record high set back in 1990. Bellingham very warm yesterday, also 81 degrees. It's about 13 degrees above average for this time of year. So if we take a look at what is coming here, you can see the ridge bringing us our warm conditions, or that did bring for some areas here. And we should warm back up a bit here again today. But then we have this next system rolling in here. It's going to increase that onshore flow, really kick off some of that fire danger for eastern Washington as you see this trough swinging through here. Bit of a ridge tries to build up here across some of the Intermountain West. We're going to bounce back our temperatures a little bit here. But then this next system is going to bring some precipitation here to the Pacific Northwest as we go through the day. Wednesday, we'll take a little bit more of a look at that here in a moment. And you can see this one kind of hangs on through the end of the week coming up here. Then what's going to happen after that? Kind of a good guess there. So that's a question we're going to try to answer as this ridge tries to build back here as we go on into the day Friday. Taking a look at 10,000 feet, I always like to show the diagrams of what is going on aloft, and you can clearly see the cooler air or chillier air moving in here as we go through the day Sunday, marking that first trough. And then we're going to see this one setting up shop here as well as we go on into Wednesday right off the coastline there. And you can see the Intermountain West really starting to warm up this time of year as monsoon season also starts to get going there across the southwest USA. So taking a look at the European, this is last night's run, lightning flash density potential. And you can see maybe the outside chance of a lightning strike across some of the higher terrain in British Columbia, mainly northern areas here. And as we scroll on in through Sunday, you can see something similar maybe across Alberta. You can see some of Idaho and western Montana actually might be included in that threat as we go through tomorrow. And then as we go on in through Monday, you can see we kind of not dealing with thunderstorm activity there too much. And we go through Tuesday, and then this next system is going to try to roll in by Wednesday. And that one could bring more thunderstorm activity with it. We'll be watching that one over the next few days as I showed you guys the trough setting up shop right off the coastline here. Looking at the North American model composite reflectivity, we're not looking at a big washout across Washington with this system here as we go through the day tomorrow, but there could be a few showers, better chances across British Columbia, the worst chances down across Oregon, and then we're going to scroll on in through. What is this about? This ends at here about Monday afternoon. Now, taking a look at the European, we get to look a little bit further out here. So there goes our initial system on Sunday, the very windy conditions, especially east of the mountains. And then the next system out here. Here we go on in through Tuesday afternoon. Here we go to Wednesday morning right about there, and you can see precipitation starting to spread into southwest BC, western Washington, coastal areas, and again lesser amounts across Oregon, but western Washington and southwest BC could be in for kind of a rainy day off and on there as we go on in through Wednesday. This would have thunderstorm potential as well. We'll continue to watch that here over the next couple of days. And you can see Thursday still the trough hanging out here, some showers across the higher terrain in British Columbia mainly. And then we'll see what comes after that as we go through the next couple of days. Taking a look at the National Blend of Models daily 2-meter max temperature, you can see we warmed back up today. I mean, 80 for Seattle, some mid 80s for portions of western Oregon, so still pretty darn right warm. Eastern Washington, check it out, some upper 90s to be had out there. But then Sunday, look at Seattle back down to 68, some low 70s there for Portland, and low 60s here showing up, maybe mid 60s for southwest British Columbia. And you see the temperatures starting to drop there for eastern Washington as well. Bounce back a little bit there Monday and Tuesday before we start to come back down Wednesday as that next system rolls in there as well. And you can see Thursday only 68 for Seattle, and then maybe bouncing back after that. We'll see. Take that with a grain of salt at that range. Taking a look at the European artificial intelligence run, there goes our first system here. As you can see, the temperatures at 5,000 feet. Then we build a little bit of a bounce back here across some of the Intermountain West, and then we bring the next system here as we go through Wednesday and the end of the week. And we start to build this ridge here a little bit here as we go towards the end of June on in through early July, but that might be short-lived here. And check out this trough that's showing up in some of the model runs here as we go towards the 4th of July. We're going to get a wet, damp, and cool 4th of July here across some of the Pacific Northwest. You got to, it's almost 2 weeks out, so you got to take that with a grain of salt. But an interesting signal nonetheless. Taking a look at Seattle, you can see for today, European model is calling for 77. Then we drop down, bounce back a little, then the next system comes in here. Then maybe another ridge after that. We'll see how that goes. So let's take a look at this, the 10-day temperature outlook. Much of the Pacific Northwest down below normal here. And you can see July 1st, June 27th to July 1st, I should say. And the above average signal for precipitation here. So that's good before the 4th of July. It's not a bad thing there to get some of that precipitation out here to keep things a bit moist. Now, take a look at the 7-day significant fire potential here. We have high risk. This is a critical burn environment. NW10, Tri-Cities, out towards Yakima, Ellensburg, Ritzville, Moses Lake, Spokane, towards Pullman. You have that very high fire danger coming up here. So any trigger or any spark that goes on out there is going to spread rapidly. So be very careful out there. And you can see that is highlighted for Sunday in NW10 there. So yeah, watch out for those winds. And you can go here to the Northwest Interagency Coordination Center and click on individual fire activity and see just how big those fires are, how much of them are contained, and what kinds of resources are being used on those fires. But anyway, yeah, I'm back from Dust Devil chasing yesterday. It's always good to be home there, but had a great time out there. I'll be working on that video over the next few days. If you want to monetarily join and support the channel, click the join button. Subscribing is free there, and that also helps the channel, and click on the thumbs up and the like button as well. But otherwise, we'll break everything down again tomorrow. We'll see what's going to be dealing with what we're going to be dealing with the systems on in through next week also, and we'll continue to break things down, and we'll watch that extended forecast for what is to come with the 4th of July coming up here as well. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.